Hi everyone, this is Christian Ramirez. I was going through all our blog posts and I noticed that our initial access blocks didn't have a video demo. In today's demonstration, I am going to breaking down the mechanism of initial access during an internal penetration testing engagement. Specifically, I am looking at how legacy protocols and default misconfiguration can be chained together to compromise a network. So for this demonstration, I am going to use our initial access blocks part 1 and part 2. Part 1 has 6 different attacks, and I'm going to create 2 different videos. Each one will contain 3 different attacks to avoid that the video be so big and, longer, right? So I am not going to go in deep and explain how this protocol works, since we have everything here in the blog. If you are interested to see how these protocols work, feel free to come and read the blog. So let's instead, I am going to just jump directly to the attacks. So the first attack will be capturing net NTLM version 2 hash. So for this one, we are going to use responder, and we are going to use responder and analyze mode. So let's jump to our Kali machine. Okay, we are going to launch responder. So basically in here, we're telling responder to be in the middle of the network and see what type of traffic that he can capture, right? So as you can see in here in the blog, we are seeing different type of traffic, LMNR, NetBIOS, MDNS, and let's see, in here we can catch traffic. There might be no traffic at all. And for this attack, we have to be patient, right? But since this is a demo and we are using a control environment, so we are going to move on into the next step. That will be to identify how many of all the IPs or domains or servers that part of the domain or the IPs and the scope, they have the SMB sign-in disabled. To do so, we are going to use netexec. So we are going to use it, and we are going to save the results in a file called relay.list.txt. And as you can see, right now we start receiving traffic and the responder. So let's just wait till our netexec finish. But basically, it's already finished. So as you can see, we identify 1, 2, 3, 4 servers or machines that the SMB signing is false. So, and as you can see in here, we have our relay list txt that basically we contain the 4 IPs that they are going to be the one that we are going to target. So once we have our target computers, this time we are going to fire up responder, and we are going to stop the analyze mode, and we are going to execute it to poison it on the network. Yep. In here, the only thing that we have to wait is to wait till a computer or a user trigger the broadcast request, right? So for this demonstration, and we are going to force this request. So we are going to go to one of the machines that is workstation 1, that is part of the Hydra domain. This is the IP, and this workstation 1, and this is the user B banners. So we are going to force the broadcast request. And as you can see, once we come back to our responder terminal, we got B banners hash. So the next step will be grab the hash and save it in a txt file, and will be crack the hash. We can either use hashcat or John the Ripper. For this demonstration, we are going to use John the Ripper. Something that I want to mention is that we include the right password of the user B banners in our password.lst dictionary file. And as we can see, John the Ripper successfully retrieved in plain text the credentials of the user B banners. Right. So obviously, this was just for demo purposes. The real scenario, and that can be a little more complicated if the password is strong and you don't have in a dictionary file, and it can take time, right? So in a real engagement, we recommend to use hashcat, right? And but for this demo, and to make everything easier, we include the password inside of the dictionary tag file. Okay. Yeah. The next is to confirming that the plain text credential works. Yeah, we can use exec. And in here, we can just replace the password. And we are going to see in how many computers that password is valid. And as you can see, we still getting more hashes, right? Well, netexec finished, and we can see that the password is a valid password for 3 different computers: web, domain controller, and workstation 1. So in this case, we were lucky enough to collect domain admin hash, and at this point, and the next step in a real engagement will be just to corroborate if we can log in inside the domain controller. In this case, we are going to use impact pexec. Yeah. Name, yeah, we are inside the domain controller. And this is the IP of the domain controller, 140. We come back and we corroborate it. So let's see. Yeah, domain controller is this one, right? Host name, yeah, DC2, yeah, 140. And the next step will be attack 2, some dumping using NTLM relate. Something I want to mention in here is basically we are lucky enough to get a password or hash with administrative privilege. So pretty much half of our engagement is done. So from here, we just need to do post exploitation and achieve our potential next goals, right? Okay. We are going to dump the local SAM. So we have to modify responder. So we are going to stop it, open it, SMB, off, and HTTP. We have to turn off these services. And now let's fire up again responder. And we are going to use NTLM relay. For this attack, we are going to replace this IP for maybe 162. Let's do this. Proceed. And let's fire up responder again. Okay, it's fine. From here, we need to be patient and wait again till someone trigger a broadcast request. Again, for this demonstration, we are going to trigger the request one more time. And as we can see in here, so we responded receive the polunchis2.local. That was the one that we request here. And we successfully dump the hashes from the local SAM database. So even my hashes in here. So from here, and the next step will be pretty much the same like we did in the previous attack. Is either use hashcat or John the Ripper. Okay. Moving on to the next attack, number 3, and the last one is going to be the chaining SMB connection via proxy. From here, we don't need to configure again the responder. We already turned off those services, SMB, HTTP. We already have running a responder. We are going to use the option SOX or SOX5. For this attack, we have two flavors, SOX and SOX5. So we are going to use the first one, SOX. We are going to stop in here, this one. We are going to copy, and for this attack, we are going to just remove the path. Since this file relay list txt lives inside of this path, we don't need it, and we don't need to append it. Okay? So we are going to press return or enter, and one more time, and we are going to trigger the request. Let's see. Yeah, let's force the request. This time we are using polunchis3.local. It says fail. It says fail. Let's see. No luck. Let's try do it again. Oh, okay. Okay. This time it works. It says to active sub connection, enjoy. So if we type socks, yeah, we got our foothold. So that's pretty much in here. And the block, we got 2 of them. This time we just got 1, which is okay. So now we are going to use an additional tool called proxy chain. For this tool, we are going to open this one, and I already configured proxy chain. Just want to show you. Proxy chain use the port 1080. So we already configured it properly. So we are going to copy this command. We are going to paste it, and we are going to replace the IP is 162. Yeah, 162. Okay. Secret dump. Basically, if everything goes well, we are going to dump all the hashes from this machine. If we remember correctly, this machine is 162. 162 is web, and as we can see in here, we successfully dump all the hashes. We dump the sum, and database hashes, and also the Hydra Marble hashes for the domain, the Elsa secrets, right? So yes, and from here is the same process. Is we can either use hashcat or John the Reaper to try to retrieve the credential in plain text, or we can use attack called pass the hash, right? So we are going to discuss that, I guess, in the next attack, the next video. And but yeah, for now, I guess to summarize, we just saw how easy is to chain protocols poisoning, NTLM relaying, and proxying to turn one simple broadcast request into a full credential access. Masterizing this kind of workflow is what separates basic exploitation from a high impact engagement where we are actually maintaining persistent presence on the network.
If you're enjoying these demos, subscribe for new attacks breakdown every week. If you find this useful, share it with your teams or anyone that is looking to level up their red team or penetration testing skills. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.